Toya Bush-Harris and her husband Dr. Eugene Harris sat their sons Ashton and Avery down for a chat about the birds and the bees on the latest episode of Married to Medicine. Watch Married to Medicine Sundays at 9/8 and streaming next day on Peacock. The original cast member spoke to the Daily Dish about how they knew it was the right time and how the conversation went. Toya Bush-Harris, on giving her sons the talk, the mom of two, says the idea of speaking with them came up while they were watching a movie as a family. If you know anything about Toya, I am one of those individuals who, I'll throw a question out there, or throw something out there, just like bait, Toya said. Boom. See who bites. Related. Married to Medicine's Toya Bush-Harris is pouring her love of wine into her collection as her boys answered her questions by saying things like, face card. Toya says she looked at her husband and determined it was time to talk to the boys about sex, adding, we need to see how much they know. The conversation went really well, according to Toya. We learned a lot ourselves, Toya said. They taught us something things, but they honestly had good questions, they were listening. Toya prides herself on being a mom who can answer any questions and not make her kids feel awkward, she said. Dr. Eugene Harris and Toya Bush-Harris attends Night School Atlanta red carpet screening at Regal Atlantic Station on September 10, 2018 in Atlanta, Georgia. Photo. Getty Images. That's all you really want. I think growing up is to be able to talk to your parents open and honestly about your feelings, what you're going through, Toya said. The things you might experience. We didn't have that growing up. Toya and her family are in a good place right now as season 10 is underway, she said. My sons are extremely happy, Toya said. They're loving their school. They're loving their friends, and they're loving their parents being on TV. The boys are starting to ask a lot of questions on what their mom has done and said on the show, Toya said. I'm like, oh my goodness, Toya said. Okay, do I need to censor myself now? What's the status of Toya and Quad's relationship? As for her relationships with the other cast members of Married to Medicine, Toya says she's really good with all of the ladies, honestly, except for one, referring to her and fellow cast member Quad Webb. Toya points to the attack on her marriage as the root of the ongoing tension, which came to a head in season 9. Related. An explosive conversation at Quad Webb's Christmas party turns heads. That's what I asked her this season, Toya said. I was like, what did you want from me? Did you want my marriage to be over? Like why were you even involved in these lies? For the Married to Medicine cast, Toya says they like to pride themselves on staying married. Watch Season 10 of Married to Medicine Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, PT on Bravo. Catch up on all seasons of Married to Medicine on Peacock.